Hey everyone!
Hello.
In today's video, Brandon, what are we going to do?
Well, first of all, we're coming at you in a couch video. So we're on the couch. It's wonderful. And before we get started, I want to say for some reason, whenever we record these, one or two of these look crooked. They're not.
Oh, no.
They are completely straight. I'm going to put a level on these one day to prove to you. We lined them up perfectly. So I don't know.
They don't look crooked in person.
They don't look crooked in person. Actual level says they're completely straight. But I digress.
Focus. What are we talking about today, Brandon?
We're going to talk about we're recording this after our cruise. So this is done after our most recent cruise.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Yeah, which you should know about if you watch some other videos. But we went on a cruise, we came back, and this video is not going to be necessarily about the entire cruise because we have videos for those coming up. But this video is a pre-debarkation.
Embarkation.
Sorry.
I
Debarking.
thought you were a man of the sea.
I am. I'm such a man of the sea, I never wanted to bark. But no, this is a pre-embarkation video about what, right now, as of this filming, what you might expect going to a port. We went to the port of Miami, and it was, of course, on a Disney cruise line. So we want to talk a little about that. And yes, I'm doing most of the talking now, but Sarah will do most of the talking in this video. And we're probably going to end this video getting on the ship. Because we want to take it up through when we booked it probably, all the way to sitting there getting COVID tested and then getting on board. And then that should put us into day one. So if anything, this is a day 0 video.
Kind of.
And with that, hopefully you're interested in this. And Sarah, go.
All right. Well, we are recapping and talking about cruising, especially in 2022. So if you are cruising beyond 2022, I would say things may be changing. Yeah. So that's probably the first thing that we want to talk about in the video today is no matter what time you are cruising, make sure you check Disney's website, DCL's website, for the most current information about cruising and especially any health and safety things that may be coming up on the horizon. We cruised in August 2021, one of the first sailings on the Disney Dream out of Port Canaveral, and then we cruised
after cruising came back.
Yeah, after cruising came back, and then now we just cruised out of Miami on the Disney Magic, and even in 5 months, things have changed a bit with protocols. So definitely keep an eye if you are cruising this year on Disney's website. They have a great know before you go section, and we read that a lot.
Yeah, please. I cannot, Sarah definitely cannot stress enough, read everything. Even, I know we all click on things and just accept or whatever. If it's tiny print and you're going on a cruise around this time, or really any time, but especially around now, read everything, what they're going to expect from you upon your arrival, what is required of you to fill out prior, which we're going to cover here in a second. And before we do, Sarah has detailed notes on her phone, actually.
I sure do.
So yeah,
you see me looking down.
Yeah, she's looking down. She's looking at her notes she took. So
yeah, so make sure you read that. We did see both in August as well as now in January people who maybe had some challenges at the port because of not making sure that they were following what Disney currently requires for guests coming aboard a Disney cruise ship. So one of the first questions that people ask me a lot, regardless of what time of year it is, where we're at right now with the pandemic, but we have special dietary needs. So a lot of people ask, how do I even let Disney Cruise Line know that I have special dietary needs? Do I need to let them know? How do I need to let them go?
Good place to start, Sarah, because this is a special diets channel. So that is, you see, that's called putting things in order.
That's right. So if you're watching this for general cruise information, you're going to get some good tips there too. Yes. But then, of course, we are going to highlight some things with special dietary needs. So
special diets, yes.
That's the first thing. So whenever I book a Disney cruise, the first thing that I do is make sure that I let Disney know not only what our special dietary needs are, but also any other requests that we have. So pro tip, you can actually make lots of requests of your cruise. So maybe you don't want to sit at a table with other guests. So in sort of normal times for Disney Cruise Line, you actually are seated with multiple parties at a single table. But if you make a request in advance, they can typically accommodate if you prefer to dine solo. So Brandon and I often do that because we like to just have a table between the two of us. But maybe you are also traveling with a family or multiple families, multiple staterooms. You can actually request to put everybody together in the same room. the same table.
Yeah, and again, right now, of this film in January 2022, during COVID, you will sit at a separate table. Each party will be at a separate table. However, like Sarah said, normal times, and I'm going to assume they're going to go back to it eventually if you're watching this in the future, that they put different parties at the same table. With someone like my dad, if my dad would love that. Yes, so if you're one of those people that wants to talk and get to know people, you may love that. For me and Sarah, we prefer our own private table. Yeah. But if they go back to quote normal and they put everyone at certain tables together, you have every right, and Disney will almost always accommodate getting you at a table by yourself. So. Yep.
So you definitely want to do that. So no matter what your requests are, if it's special dietary needs or a table request that you have, you can do a couple things. One, if you booked it on your own, call Disney Cruise Line. That's sort of what I do. I think that's the best way to make sure that they have that on your reservation. I will always let them know, hey, this is what my special dietary needs are. This is what Brandon's special dietary needs are. Or if you work with an authorized Disney vacation planner, which we have also done, it makes it super easy. You can tell them, and then they will contact Disney and give them that information. Yep. And that works really well, too.
Yeah.
So they can always put that down there. So make sure you let them know ahead of time. Is it required? No. I like to do it because I think it helps them know ahead of time what kinds of guests are coming, and if they have special dietary needs, making sure that they have products on hand to help accommodate, like the gluten-free bread, like the waffle mix, that kind of thing. So that's a big tip for me. Another pro tip when we're thinking about things in advance, you can also add celebrations. So if you have a birthday or an anniversary, that's another thing that you want to let Disney Cruise Line know either directly or through a travel agent. So that is one thing we did. We did that for our birthdays on this cruise.
Yeah, because we went on this cruise a few weeks after my birthday and a few weeks before Sarah's birthday. So everyone wish us a happy birthday. I'm kidding. But no, so we did that, and a few times, which again, you'll see those videos coming up. They did do something for us.
And it's not guaranteed that they will do something special for your birthday, but it is
good
often a birthday or anniversary. They will often do something, usually towards the end of your cruise, is what our experience has been. So that's something that you can do. So that's the first thing we did. We booked our cruise, we added our stuff. And then the next thing that came through is something that is both special diets and non-special diets related, is that before your cruise, you can actually order lots of different fun things from Onboard Gifts to add to your stateroom or even to a dining location while you're on the cruise. So maybe you want to order a cake or cupcakes or wine or some fun surprises for your room. You can do that in advance.
Yeah.
We have an Onboard Gifts website.
Yeah, and you'll see on our day one video, which again is upcoming, we did pre-order some cupcakes and everything. And I think on our last cruise we did as well, which is in the videos too.
So as Brandon said, we did that on our most recent cruise. We did the cupcakes. Those were gluten-free and allergy-friendly. They have them listed on the Onboard Gifts, so you can check those out. It does require you to do them at least a week before your cruise. So basically, once you get to the 1 week mark, you can't book anymore.
I didn't know that.
And that's just for supplies, and so they can make sure that they can accommodate. And that goes for a special diets or a non-special diets food item.
Yeah. Also, unless you're going to go to that, you're going to go to like the bedding they can put on there, the special stuff.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah. Really quick. It's not just for like the cupcakes like we talked about. You have not seen it in any of our videos. We haven't done this yet. But you can also book stuff to decorate your room special and everything before you get on board. So you would do that the same way. If you've seen other people on YouTube or anywhere else do any vlogs about cruising, you may have seen that for Halloween stuff or Star Wars or Marvel. They can decorate your room in a special way or put balloons up and stuff like that. And we've never done it. Maybe we will one day, but that is available to you.
Yeah, you can get wine, you can get non-alcoholic beverages. We've had some friends send us like a fruit basket, which was really fun. So there's lots of different things that you can do.
We did have that.
Yeah, we did.
That was awesome.
That was really nice. So you can do that. You can pay it in advance. Well, you do have to pay it in advance, so you don't get to pay for it once you get on the ship. You do pay it ahead of time. We have used Disney gift cards for that. So if you have Disney gift cards, that is a valid form of payment. So you can do that as well. I will say that their website is a little sketchy sometimes.
Listen, everybody. Listen, if this is your first video you've ever seen of ours, my listen, everybody might be new. But hold on. Cactus. One of our 3 cats is here.
Hi. He understands.
He understands. Listen, Disney's websites and stuff have never been good, and they're still not good. You're going to have errors on them sometimes. Just have faith. Keep going. As Walt said, keep moving forward, and you will get through a Disney website. I'm done.
Okay, but if you can't get through the Disney website, you have challenges, which is what happened to me. This recent
you actually couldn't get through.
I kept trying to get allergy-friendly cupcakes, and it was not working correctly. I could get to the point where I could add it to the cart, but it wouldn't actually let me check out. So if you have those kinds of issues, don't forget that you can also call Disney Cruise Line directly, and they can help walk you through that process.
I didn't know
they actually helped me this time because we tried everything, cleared the cookies, used a different browser,
listen everybody, that whole clear the cookies thing, that went away back in '98. Okay, it doesn't do anything. But no, seriously, like Sarah said, I didn't know that happened to us this cruise because the amazing Sarah pretty much. She does 90% of things.
That's why I have the notes.
Yeah, I'm 10%. But no, I didn't know that, so that's a perfect example of what I was just saying. Yeah, your mileage with the Disney website might vary.
Yes. So things to think about. So once you've kind of booked your cruise, you've ordered anything that you want to for your stateroom in advance. Now we're getting to the exciting stuff. We're getting to the 30-day mark before our cruise. And this has changed over time. This is probably one thing that you'll want to pay attention to. Pre-closure of the cruise lines over the last couple years, you would do online check-in to get yourself kind of ready for the cruise based on your Castaway Club status. So if you were platinum or gold or silver, you got to do your online check-in a little bit early. But now with the current protocols, everybody does online check-in at 30 days. So if you have a specific port arrival time that you would like, many people like to show up early. You're going to want to try to get on as fast as we do. We definitely
The earlier you can get on board a Disney cruise ship, the better.
Yeah, and it just helps. And we actually learned from this experience. We were actually on very quickly. So if that is something that's important to you, you can actually do your online check-in. This is a pro tip. At midnight on the day your online check-in opens up.
Okay.
So if you can make it at midnight and you have a specific need you want.
Did you do it at midnight this time?
I didn't actually because we booked our cruise, cruise just under the 30-day mark. So we were actually beyond the 30-day mark. Our cruise was very quiet. So I was actually able to get us the very first port arrival time because we had a lowly attended cruise. So
we'll talk about that.
But I actually had to do that. I got on at midnight when we did the August one. Okay. So just things to know about. That's just a pro tip. You are going to do something that is pretty similar to pre kind of COVID times, but it looks a little bit different. I'll share some screenshots here. So they have a little bit of an online check-in portal. If you were interested more about this, I did talk about this in a bit more detail on the the DCL podcast. So I'll share the link to that episode where I talked a little bit about that as a guest. But it's fairly easy. It walks you through the steps. The big pro tip that I have when you're doing any online check-in right now under the current protocols that require you to have things like a selfie that you take yourself or a copy of your passport. Make sure you have them in optimal formats. Don't have a selfie in a PDF. Make sure it's a JPEG or something like that so that you can easily upload it.
Good call. Yeah, make it a JPEG. Our GIFs use anymore, which some people say GIF, but I grew up calling them GIFs back in the 80s and 90s. I don't know, but yeah, a JPEG, there's the way to go. Everyone, no matter what, everyone can read a JPEG. You can send it. A PDF file, I'm sure that happens. Or you put a photo in a Word document and save the Word document with the photo, JPEG.
Yeah, make sure you do that. When we sailed in August, I was on a Facebook group for that, and a lot of people were having problems with those. So just make sure it's an optimal format. Yep. Another big pro tip is that if for some reason things aren't looking right, you can keep going through the process and go back and re-upload a photo or add in other information later if you need to. You can always re-edit that. So that's one thing. It does take them sometimes a bit to review anything you submitted, so your passport photo and your selfie. That will take a little bit of time to review, and usually it doesn't get cleared until a few days before your cruise. So don't freak out. If you have this pending status for like a really long time, they usually do it at the last minute. So just something to know there. And also, as an organizational pro tip, I have a cruise folder that I now keep with our selfies and passport photos so that I can easily just add those really quickly, and I keep them organized so we don't have to keep retaking them or uploading them. So
did you, we had to upload a photo we took of ourselves, of course.
That's a selfie.
Did you also have to upload a copy, or we're probably going to get to that, never mind. I was going to say a copy of the passport.
Yeah, that was the other thing you have to have, is the passport.
Did we just talk about that?
Uh-huh. This is why Sarah does all of this.
Well, if I'd have been doing that, I'd have talked about it again right now.
Gosh. So you do that, you go through the process, you get your port arrival time. If you're Brandon, you re-upload things.
Why not?
And then once you do that,
unlimited data.
Oh my gosh. Once you do that, then you're going to get a confirmation that says, hey, you're good to go, you've checked in. And then you will get emailed kind of a one-page sheet with your port arrival time, your boarding group number for when you arrive at the port. It also will include your muster drill station. So like ours had Q for the station that we had to go to. And then it will have QR codes that you can use that get scanned at the port. You also, if you have a smartphone, can download a wallet version of your port arrival time that is a QR code with your station and all that kind of stuff. So if you were into technology, you can download that and add it to your phone, which we did. Although I feel like we just ended up using the printout because I always bring the printout as a backup.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of information there. So that's super easy. It sounds like a lot of steps, but it is really not too bad. The other thing that is maybe a little bit more complicated, especially if you have kiddos and you have to do some testing, is the Safe Passage website. So this is a part of the new requirements for Disney Cruise Line. So as of the recording of this video, things can change. You are required, if you are, I believe, age 5 and above, are required to be fully vaccinated currently to sail on DCL. So if you are in that category, you have to upload your vaccination card to a Safe Passage website. The Safe Passage website requires you to create an account. The only thing I don't like about the Safe Passage website is that I get to manage both me and Brandon because we're on the same sailing, but Brandon has to create his own account and password, and then he has to sign all his agreements
Listen,
and stuff,
everyone.
which is kind of a pain.
Listen, everyone. Listen, I've grown up with technology. I think I'm pretty good. I once had a GeoCities website of my own, maybe an Angel Fire website. I don't know, but listen, listen. I got confused on the Safe Passage website. Just take a breather if you get confused. Look around. What caused me an issue when I was trying to approve all my stuff, like Sarah said, it defaulted to our cruise from last year.
Right.
So to me, it looked completely.
Right.
I'm good to go. So for a whole day, I ignored it, going, okay, I guess it's already done. Sarah must have done it. And Sarah's like, hey, did you do it? I'm like, don't have to, done. She's like, no, it shouldn't be. I'm like, there it is. No, you have to go here. So it still remembered our last cruise from months ago.
Yeah, which is actually
which
part
is cool.
of that's handy because we didn't
All
have
your
to
stuff is
we
there.
didn't have to re-upload our vaccination cards; those were already there. But Brandon had to re-sign a new authorization and a consent form
under the different
under
cruise
the
number,
new
which
cruise
I
number.
didn't even notice that. Everything looked good, but it, for me at least, and again, double check if this happened to you, it defaulted to my previous cruise. So our previous cruise, but for my login.
So definitely it is something you gotta pay attention to. If you have kiddos that are under 18, you as the guardian or parent can manage their accounts, but if anyone is 18 or over, they have to create their own account. So just know that going in, you will be using that at the port. So it also has a QR code. You will be looking at it at the port to make sure that you are clear to arrive once you get there and do pre-cruise testing, because again, as a current protocol, you are required to take a rapid PCR test at the port regardless of your vaccination status. So there are a lot of things to think about in terms of the process, making sure you've done all the things. Anyone under 5 who's not fully vaccinated does have to take some additional testing. So again, this goes back to the read the know before you go. Read all of that, make sure your kiddos get the testing done in the time frame, that it's the right kind of test, so that you don't have any surprises when you get to the port. So once you get that, again, you've signed it, we've got it, we're good. So that kind of takes us to going to Miami.
Yay!
What happened?
Well, listen, everybody. We have so far, at least for us, we've only cruised out of Port Canaveral so far, which is for where we live at, hour and a half, something like that. Right?
It's a little over an hour.
Okay, just a little over an hour, not even an hour and a half sometimes, unless you hit heavy traffic, and it's Orlando, so you might. Miami for us is 3.5 to 4 hours away, sometimes longer because you got to stop for gas, and there's Miami traffic, everyone.
It took us about 4 on the way down.
So depending on where, and some people fly in, some people are local, of course, and that's awesome for them. I'm very happy for them, actually. But if you're coming from further away, leaving enough time going to Miami.
Yes,
traffic is
time.
heavy. As
and
everyone
travel.
knows. Yeah, if you think Orlando's bad, you got nothing on Miami.
Yeah, and if you're flying or if you're driving from further than, say, Orlando, make sure you give yourself enough time and a buffer just in case travel things come up, because those things do happen.
Yeah,
and we left the morning of our cruise versus going down the night before, which some people also do as well.
Yeah, we could have. So we're at the port. Well, no, we're on our way to Miami. We get there, and let's just cut to the chase. And I'm gonna let Sarah go into more detail because she's much more democratic about it. Is that the right word? I don't know what's the word. Nice about it. Port Canaveral is a quintillion times more better than the Port of Miami. There it is, everybody. If you disagree with that, please leave a comment. I'd love to read why you say that. And if you believe that, then you are right. I'm not going to argue with you, but
well, I think the
Sarah.
difference is that Port Canaveral has a Disney-specific terminal. So it is...
Oh, yeah.
Disney manages it. They have designs. It's set up. It's all fitted for Disney. And they have a parking garage right there that is specifically for Disney, versus Miami and many other cruise ports. That's not necessarily Disney's terminal. I think Disney tends to go out of Terminal C in Miami, but
it's not there.
It's not branded. Like at Miami, they have a and you'll see in some of our videos, Norwegian and Royal Caribbean both have their own building, their own terminals in Miami. And so it's more or less a warehouse. Yeah,
you're standing in a warehouse, and there is Disney signage. They do put up stands and everything. Yeah, it's minimal. When you go to Port Canaveral, it's managed by Disney, built by Disney. It's like
the terminal has little Mickeys everywhere.
Yeah, so you're at a tiny Disney theme park, basically.
Yeah.
Again, watch our last video that we cruised, or probably anyone else's that cruised out of Port Canaveral. It's amazing. Yeah,
Port Canaveral is amazing. And it's honestly fine that Miami does not have a lot of theming. But
I'm good with that. I'm 100% good with that. Yeah.
The big thing you want to know about if you are driving to Miami is that you will likely have to park way far away from where the terminal entrance is.
Listen, everybody. Not only did we park way far away,
it was like 3 miles away.
I kid you not, we quite literally parked as far away as was possible to park.
On the other side of the island.
Not because we wanted to. This was not because we wanted to, but we actually ended up parking in Georgia. So, no, it was...
It was parking garage G.
Ooh, yeah, we were in parking garage G, Georgia. There you go. I didn't think about that. But, yeah, so you park really far away, and you're advised you're going to take a shuttle.
Yeah, so kind of backing up really quick. Again, this goes to port arrival times.
Sorry.
So Port Canaveral is extremely strict about port arrival times, especially right now. So if you have a port arrival time of 10:30 to 10:45, do not show up early. They will turn you around. And in fact, they were really strict when we went in August. And I know from other people that they're still being pretty strict. When we went to Miami, I saw stuff on our Facebook group from people being there at like 9:45, and that actually plays into when we start to check in. So I just wanted to mention, if you have luggage and you're driving, you can drop stuff off with porters.
The porters, yes.
But they're not checking times.
Yeah, they're not checking times. But we did drop off our bigger luggage with a porter, with the porters, and leave them a tip. Everyone, they're working hard. Give them a tip. They're working hard. And our porter was great. I mean, it was quick. We interacted with him very, very minimally, but very nice, very informative and everything. So porters were awesome.
Yes, and it's been a tough time. So
so
be generous.
Be generous with them. Yeah.
So once we did that, we dropped it. We parked in the garage, and then from there, we had to attempt to find a shuttle.
Hold on, everybody. Sarah's skipping something. What? I'm going to pause because Sarah might cut this out.
What?
When you're in the parking garage, you do not want to use the bathrooms.
Yeah, no, they have porta potties.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm only going to say that. Please don't cut this out, Sarah. Do not use the bathrooms at the Port of Miami and the parking garages. Now, what were you saying about shuttles?
Don't do that. So once we parked, we were looking for a shuttle. They do not have great signage.
It's wrong.
Okay, it's wrong.
It's wrong.
So we followed the arrows to where the signage was.
And we didn't misread anything because we quadruple checked.
Actually, we saw a whole family. They had walked down partway, then they came back around because they also were having challenges. So look for the teal bus. They may pick you up on one side, they may pick you up on another. The bus driver of the shuttle was really nice and saw us and stopped and said, come on in, where are you going?
That's
and then
true.
We were able to. And then he pulled around to the other side of the garage, picked up a few more people, and then we got over to the terminal. So
just flag down a bus.
Yeah, flag down a bus.
Just flag it down.
Wish I had easier navigation, but that's how it was.
Or like Sarah said, if you really want, if you're super in shape, you could walk the couple miles.
We heard people said they had to walk. We heard people
actually walking because they had no clue what to do.
Right.
The signage quite literally points you in one direction.
But they're picking up on the other side. They're picking
up on the other side.
Yeah.
So again, maybe that'll change. As of now, though, just don't always count on the signage. Like Sarah said, my recommendation as well is flag down a bus. Just do what you need to do. If you don't injure yourself and don't put yourself in danger, but do what you need to do to stop that bus within limits.
Right.
Flag it down.
Oh no. So once we made it over to the terminal, here's where some of the port arrival times and people coming early plays into. So speak to a cast member if you see any lines, but chat with them immediately because we got into what we perceived as the line to get into the terminal based on our port arrival time.
As did other people behind us had the same arrival time. And I think the family right behind us actually had a 15-minute or something. No, the same arrival time, right? Yeah.
They were 15 minutes behind us.
They were 15 minutes behind us. Yeah, I'm sorry. I reversed that. So.
Yeah. So we figured out that was actually not the case. That was a line for anyone who was there prior to their port arrival time. So it was a staging area for people who weren't ready to go into the terminal and do their testing.
And there is nowhere, and again, we checked, it doesn't say that anywhere. And Disney cast members or anyone, the Port Authority people, are not walking up and down saying that. We overheard another guest imply that we might be able to go in the building now. So
yeah, so as a cast member, we double checked and then we were able to go in. I kind of felt like we were skipping the lines because we were able to go through fast. So
like at a cool nightclub in Miami in the 80s, you're on that VIP list. That's what it felt like.
We're Miami
Vice. we're Miami Vice. But we were near at the time the end of the line because we had just gotten there. After about 10 minutes, we saw a handful of people here and there seemingly just not at all jumping the line, but cast members letting them through this barricaded area. And we're like, what? So we start getting our ears open and everything to see what's going on. And we just heard another guest saying, oh, if your arrival time's here or past or something, you can go right on.
Yeah.
And that's when we got out of line and said, well, let's risk this. And the cast member was very nice.
Yeah.
And said, yeah, come on in. We just had to show
and by the time we got up there, it was actually still within our 10:30 to 10:45 window, so we were right on time, which worked out great. So then once you get in, you're going to go through security, very similar to Port Canaveral.
No difference.
No different there.
Like an airport.
Yep. So you go through that, and then from there, the first thing you're going to do, as of right now, is you are going to do your pre-cruise testing. So, as I said, you're going to do a rapid PCR test. You administer it yourself. So they give you, I'll put in some video, they give you a bag, it has a tube, it has a swab, and it has a spot for you to put your name and your reservation number. So I would say it was a pretty quick process. We were in and out within maybe 10 minutes?
10, 15 minutes.
It's pretty easy.
I also want to give, I don't think we've ever said this since this whole thing began, big credit to the cast members and staff if they were Port of Miami. They were really, really strict, not being rude at all about the 6-foot rule and everything like that. Right? Yeah. People, trying to keep people within the protocols. And it was nice to see that actually. It was really
So it was very efficient. And then from there, then they send you up to a waiting area. So there's 3 different rooms in the Miami terminal right now. The first is the waiting area after you're done with testing. until you're cleared. The second one is you actually checking in with DCL. And then the third one is you're getting ready to board the ship. So you've got kind of 3 phases. So we got to the waiting room and...
The most depressing room.
Everyone was stressed.
Yeah, let's just...
and we attested. Do you want to talk a little bit about what we did?
We 3 or 4 days, 5 days prior to the cruise, we tested ourselves at home with a normal...
Yeah, we did rapid tests.
We did the rapid tests at home
on Sunday, and then Wednesday
the night before.
Yeah, the night before.
Because we figured why drive 4 hours plus if we pop positive.
Right.
So we had 2 negative tests at home, the rapid test, so we felt somewhat confident going down there. But in saying that, it was a very, I think for everyone, I think I'm speaking, if you're watching this video and you were there.
The longest 20 minutes we had.
Yeah, it was the longest 20-25 minutes we've ever had. Maybe not ever. It's an exaggeration. But it was usually, if you've been on a Disney cruise or seen other videos, or probably any cruise line, when you get in that port, usually there's a feeling of excitement. Hey, we're going on a cruise, a vacation. This is amazing. Yay. This was just, I don't know what the word is, a pallor over everything. It was nerve-wracking.
Everybody was just hoping to make it on.
Because if you test positive, of course, you're not going.
Sure.
You're not going. Well, understandably, you shouldn't go. But, and we know that has happened to people.
Yeah, and then people have to quarantine and all that kind of stuff.
And go home. Whether you live locally, that's depressing, or heaven forbid, live 9-10 hours away, or have to fly back. Whatever.
Yeah. Also, make sure you have travel insurance right now.
Yeah, do the travel insurance right now.
Especially if you're traveling and you need to have stay in a hotel for a couple weeks.
Yeah, and it's very affordable.
So get travel insurance.
Sorry, go ahead.
I would recommend that. But yeah, it can be a little stressful right now with the pre-cruise testing, regardless of if you feel like you're doing okay. So they do have kind of like airports. They have numbers, a couple screens with numbers for your reservation, and then that will say to terminal if you are cleared. And then you also can check on the safe passes, which is what we were doing.
We pretty much just kept it reload.
Yeah, you can check their website, which is, again, you have a login, you just check that. And then also they email you once they clear you as well.
I wish I would have had, I don't think no one was taking video in there really. But I wish I would have had video of Sarah because it came through on my phone first because I just kept hitting refresh and it said clear to sail or something, clear to sail?
Yeah, clear to sail.
Clear to sail. So I clicked on it and we were both clear to sail. I said, I didn't know if it was real, so I'm like, reload. I'm like, Sarah, look. She's like, what? No. She's like, no, it can't be. And then, just like everyone, like you're a contestant on The Price is Right. She literally stood up and was like, oh, we're going. Like it was so exciting. If most of you, some of you do, but most of you don't know Sarah in real life. Sarah can do a 180 from one mood to another. Usually it's a nervous mood or an upset mood, and then if something positive happens, the happiest person in the world you've ever seen. It's amazing. I love it.
Character flaw.
No, it's a character trait. But we all went, Sarah too, from being this.
But I think everybody was like that too.
Everyone was. It was great. I wish I would have had it on video though, because she actually.
So
it was great.
I was really impressed with how expedient things were going, and also the process just seemed pretty smooth. So I think they've gotten really into a rhythm with all that kind of testing. I know some people on some sailings have waited an hour and a half. So depending on your sailing, it could take a little bit longer.
Yeah, we waited about 20 minutes.
Yeah. So this kind of leads up to what you're going to see soon, which is our cruise vlog. We did our normal process. We checked in, we got settled, and then our boarding group came, and we got to go.
And we'll stop more or less there. Because watch day 1, which will be uploaded soon after this video in a few days probably. But anything else, Les?
I don't think so. I think we're going to share overall thoughts and another video wrap up. I know it's not as exciting when we're just kind of talking, but hopefully you like some of the videos and things that we shared here and screenshots. And of course, if you have questions that we didn't cover that you have,
leave them.
Leave a comment.
Leave a comment below, and I mean Sarah will answer it, or maybe I will. You never know. I might pop in and answer a question one day.
It's true.
You'll see. It'll be a shocking answer. but no, leave a question, because while we covered everything, we didn't cover everything. I'm sure we forgot something. And if we forgot something that you want to know prior to cruising with DCL, leave a comment and we will try to answer it.
Yep. So with that, thank you for watching, and get excited for the cruise vlogs. They're going to be fun.
Yeah, so thank you to all the patrons on Patreon. Everyone is amazing. Thank you to all the subscribers. You're what make us keep doing this. So thank you. Please leave a thumbs up, hit subscribe, the bell, and everything else I'm supposed to say right now. But all the things. But yeah, be on the lookout for day 1. This was day 0. And we will see you on day 1.
Disney magic.
Disney magic.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.